All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to another production here of Next Level Broadcasting's coverage of high school varsity basketball. Tonight, we've got the girls' action in the Ski Valley as the #1 team in the Ski Valley Conference. The Gaylord St. Mary's Snowbirds are going on the road, and they will be taking on the Mancelona Lady Ironmen as the Ironmen trying to improve on that 6-6 record. Gaylord St. Mary, if you're just now joining us or just seeing a St. Mary game, they are a fun team to watch. They will keep you entertained all night long, as it'll be the Snowbirds and the Ironmen. And as I welcome in my broadcast partner, Jared Stamen. Jared, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Charles. I'm glad to be here. First time here and home of the Ironmen, and we'll be here in a couple weeks doing districts for the boys.
That's exactly right. As we welcome you officially to the Gaylord Eye Care Center pregame show. With 4 locations in northern Michigan, the Gaylord Eye Care Center is getting you to the top of your game this basketball season. And if you're an official or a scoreboard worker or somebody doing stats or even just an overall person in northern Michigan, head on into the Gaylord Eye Care Center to get a free eye consultation. Jared, what's your eye prescription?
2020 is the last time I checked, Charles.
And when's the last time you checked?
Ooh,
If you can't tell me the last time you checked, we're going to have to see if we can get you in to see Dr. Slazak or Dr. Mead at the Gaylord Eye Care Center. They got 4 locations, by the way, Jared.
Oh, yeah.
Gaylord, Sheboygan, Bel Air, and Boyne City. So we can pick that one that's closest to you, likely the Boyne City location, and we're going to have to get you in there before playoffs start.
Yeah, I think I might be a little colorblind, but I don't know about the 2020. No eye pain, no headaches, but, never hurts to get checked.
Exactly. Well, as you said right there, the Gaylord Eye Care Center getting everybody to the top of their game this basketball season and do in their part along with Next Level Broadcast and make sure that you can see our games clear. And when you see that call that's not called, you can get on the refs and make sure that you got a good leg to stand on when you are trying to, holler at the refs from the first row of the stands when you're at a game. So as we welcome you back to high school basketball here, once again presented by the Gaylord Eye Care Center, the pregame show, Next Level Broadcasting, bringing you girls varsity basketball from the Ski Valley Conference. The Gaylord St. Mary's Snowbirds, as you see, coming in with a 13-1 record. Jared, the first game the Snowbirds played this year was the very first basketball game you did on Next Level Broadcasting, and you said that you thought the Snowbirds could potentially finish with 1, maybe no losses on the season. Right now, they've got 1 loss. It was a game that they probably should have won.
Yeah.
A game where they missed 18 free throws and a 4-point loss to Petoskey. But this Snowbird team, they're on a roll, man.
Yeah, Pat Schultz got these girls going on another level. I mean, after watching that first one they played Harbor Springs week 1, who's another fantastic girls team. Ended up winning that game, and I said, Charles, I don't know who's going to beat them. They really, you lost. You still technically did lose, but if you're going to lose by 4 points, missing 18 free throws, not the worst way to go out. And I'm sure Pat Schultz and out the wazoo afterwards. So he goes knocked down because that's uncharacteristic for a team coached by Pat Schultz. And it all starts with the defense. That's just really why they win. They're full court press, half court. They're just impossible to get through. Breaking teams early in the first and second quarter. And then in the second half, you got a 15-point lead. They just sit back with the defense.
And that's a good way to live, especially Gaylord St. Mary's Snowbirds in the offense. For some reason, not having a good night shooting. 2 nights ago, they made 7 3-pointers, so they were hot from deep. And, as we have an opportunity to do so, we're showing you Mancelona, the Lady Ironmen here. They're just coming off a tough 5-point loss to East Jordan, lost 40-35. But before that, they beat Johannesburg Lewiston in overtime, 40-39. So Mancelona has played 2 overtime games this year. So if the Ironmen can drag the Snowbirds into the deep end and kind of wear them down, force the Snowbirds to play the Ironmen's game, this could potentially be a game that the Ironmen could pull off an upset. It's definitely going to have to be something that the Snowbirds are having their guard up for, Jared.
Yeah.
Don't want to get caught sleeping here and get knocked out.
Especially on the road, a little bit more pride from the home team. They don't want to lose in front of their home fans, and I think you're going to see it tonight. The Ironman JV girls didn't play the best against the St. Mary's Birds JV team, and I think that they're going to take that a little chip on their shoulder and bring it into this varsity game. I think they're going to be that scrappy Mancelona team that you might be used to.
We'll find out. actually a lot more, as we've got 4 quarters to determine who's going to come away with this one. We're going to step aside. This has been the pregame show here on Next Level Broadcasting, brought to you by the Gaylord Eye Care Center. We'll be back after this.
Vision Eye Care offers services to local communities across northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Boyne City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
All right, now it's time to get ready for the Ironmen and the Snowbirds here on Next Level Broadcasting. Thanks for hanging out with us here January 5th, Thursday night. The 5 starters for the Gaylord St. Mary Snowbirds will be Peyton Glasby, Nona Skaronsky, Emery Bloost, Alira Cook, and Kaylee Jeffers. For the Mancelona Lady Ironmen, and an Ironman team, Jared, who does not have a single senior on the roster. How about that?
Yeah, that's crazy. One of the first things I noticed when we got their roster sheets, and they're going to have their hands full against 4 starting seniors for the Snowbirds.
So for the Mancelona Lady Ironman, we're going to dim the lights here, bring out the strobe light, and it is officially showtime. One of the cool traditions done at a lot of different schools in northern Michigan here, Jared. I know you've been at some Elk Rapids games when they drop the lights like this and bring the strobe lights. Have a good time with it. So the first starter is Bree Musall for Mancelona. Next up, a junior guard, number 15, Peyton Durr. Next up for Mancelona, number 20, a junior, Taylor Belangia. You know, everybody used to watch the Pistons starting lineup, so, I mean, that was a thing in Michigan in 2004, 2005, and 6. So now you see it everywhere. And shout out to Mancelona, nice presentation here as Lucy Griefor is introduced. And then last but not least, 44, Jayla Kraft. So you see the Mancelona starting 5. A big matchup tonight, Jared, in my opinion, will be Kraft and Glasby. Which one of those two are able to really swing and turn the tide of that matchup? Our officials tonight, Charlie Lovelace, Dave Johnson, and Brandon McGinnis. It'll be Glasby and Musall, or excuse me, Glasby and Durr to get things underway. And we're off with the Snowbirds controlling this first possession. So they're going to skip this. Mancelona coming out in a zone defense, stolen away. Nice defensive play made by Musall. Jared, Mancelona playing the passing lanes well.
Yeah, something that we see the Snowbirds do a lot. Like to see the Ironmen do it early.
Musall guarded by Jeffers. Now up top to Belangia. Belangia is really the offensive piece that gets the Ironmen into their sets, Jared. So look for 24 and white to be very aggressive here early. As this one's stolen away, Glasby has it. The Snowbirds on a run-out opportunity. Kick back out to Bloost. She'll drive in, Euro step up and off the mark. Rebound by the Ironmen. And the steal, Glasby has the first points of the game for the Snowbirds.
Well, no shock there. Glasby, 1,000-point scorer this season. She knows how to get the ball in the bucket.
Yeah, she actually scored her 1,000th point back in 2025, Jared. And she's been playing this whole part of the new year with more than 1,000 points to her credit. So doing a good job as there's a three-pointer knocked down. Taylor Belangia.
Oh, you mentioned she was going to be the spark plug, and, well, what a way to start with a three.
Like I said, she is the catalyst for this Mancelona offense. She's got 3 points, and the Ironmen have a 1-point lead. And we've got a jump ball. Once again, our officials tonight, Dave Johnson, Charlie Lovelace, and Brandon Nichols. I think earlier I might have said McGinnis. I don't know where that came from. I had it written down.
Thinking of a Guinness, maybe.
And this one's turned over again. Jeffers passes it up the floor to Cook. Off the window, too strong, and a flying-in rebound by Durr. Putting her body on the line tonight. You can get the sense that this is a big game for the Lady Ironmen, Jared.
Well, I think every girls' team wants to knock off the Snowbirds. They're, the pinnacle of, especially in the Ski Valley, they're the standard, and you want to beat the standard and show them you're the boss, especially when you're playing on your home turf.
Nearly stolen on the far side of the floor by Jeffers, but Belangia is able to save it. Inside it goes. That's another three-pointer knocked down by Bree Musall. And Mancelona hitting their shots here early, but the Snowbirds get it right back by Glasby. And Glasby's got 4 points for the Snowbirds.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught sleeping. Their outlet passes is another reason why. They play with good pace, they've got good length, and they're great at finishing under the rim. You can't celebrate those early buckets if you're Mancelona. I know this game, as we mentioned, is a bigger game than them than it probably is for the Snowbirds, but you got to keep your head in check.
Peyton Durr just picked up a personal foul, and the Snowbirds will get it back. Reload attempt is good. Jeffers from the corner, and the Snowbirds regain the lead 7-6.
Yeah, Jeffers was wide open in that corner, and well, she's another 1,000-point scorer. We saw her make her 1,000th point on a three-pointer. So,
Jared, did they call that Musall a deep two-pointer?
Yeah, they did. I noticed that in the score sheet as well.
It certainly looked like it was close. I guess the official said they had a foot on the line as there's an elbow jump shot, no good by Taylor Belangia, and we got another held ball. It'll be Snowbird basketball this time on the possession arrow.
Yeah, but that's a heck of an effort by Belangia, chasing her rebound, trying to get an extra possession for her team. Definitely can. If you didn't know she was the spark plug before the game in the first 3 minutes, it's clear she is.
Mancelona coached by Isaac Belangia, Dan Durr, and Amanda Belangia. Corner it goes. Sahara Wells is checked into the game for the Snowbirds. Glasby kicks it back to Wells in the corner. Mancelona, as this one is a shoe shiner, the Snowbirds get it back. Used to practice that in 5th grade gym class, Jared.
Yeah, it bounced off Durr's face, and she gave a little smile there, getting an unexpected knock to the face.
And it bounced off of Glasby's shoe before that. It was a weird ricochet as the Snowbirds turn it over, and it's Mancelona basketball down by a deuce. It's been an entertaining first quarter of play for sure, Jared, as Durr whips a pass over to Griefor. Down the floor, 2-on-1, and getting fouled is Bree Musall. See who the whistle's against. It looks like it's Kaylee Jeffers who picks up the first personal foul.
Yeah, it's an early foul. First one of the game for the Snowbirds, but you would not want to see Jeffers get into foul trouble early. She is just too good of a player, both sides of the ball. Can't really ask for a better guard. Does it on both sides. Steals, blocks, passing lanes, threes, layups, jumpers. She's got it all.
Another 1,000-point score for the Snowbirds. They've got 2 as Musall tees one up. Griefor's got the offensive rebound, and she'll go to the free throw line. And another Snowbird foul. That one called against Lily Keister, and it's the second team foul for the Snowbirds. First against Keister.
Mancelona doing a good job playing at their own pace. The ball has actually been on their side of the floor more often than not, which is not the MO when you watch the Snowbirds play. Most of the time they are very ball dominant because their defense just gets so many turnovers. Doing a good job. Mancelona is making the Snowbirds play at their pace.
Ironmen go 2 for 4 at the free throw line on that trip, and we're knotted up at 7 points apiece. Griefer with her first point of the game as well. As this one skipped over the head of the Ironman defense into the corner. Wells goes down to Jeffers. Nice pass. One more to Keister. Power dribble, puts it up. And she's fouled, Jared. And Lily Keister making an impact coming off the bench. And she now goes to the free throw line.
Yeah, Keister has gotten a lot more minutes as the season's gone on. Another one of the young players. One of the things that we saw that I would like, I'm sure Pat Schultz talks her is she's one of the taller players, so she's good under the rim protector, but she's not mastered the art of blocking shots yet. She's very prone to foul, which is why she doesn't get as much minutes as she probably would like. A lot of times gets into foul trouble early, but great offense.
So, Jared, just to keep everybody updated, that was the second personal foul on Peyton Durr right there. So she's on the floor right now playing with 2. That's a risk that head coach Belangia is willing to take here as he's trying to get his team to upset the #1 team in the Ski Valley Conference. And sometimes you got to take those risks and be okay with it.
Right, and Mancelona is not a very deep team. They only have on their roster, they have some JV girls playing up, but only 6 full varsity players. So you really cannot afford to get into foul trouble early, and you just got to be very, very calculated if you're Durr for the rest of the game.
And that's likely the reason why they're playing this 1-3-1 zone, just trying to stay out of foul trouble as the Snowbirds swing it into the corner to Switalski. She goes down low. It's turned over. Musall has the takeaway. And that Ironman defense has given the Snowbirds some problems in this first quarter, Jared.
Yeah, I was going to say the zone's been working really well. One of the more limited times I've seen the Snowbirds look, it's quite impressive by the Ironmen. I'm surprised the way they've came out as they did just get a turnover, but that's kind of just a credit to the Snowbirds defense. It was only a matter of time.
Snowbirds coming back down the floor with it, swinging to Glasby in the corner. Now to Wells. She's going to put it up off the rim. No good.
They could have called a foul on that one in the NBA. Her landing zone was obstructed.
Durr has it knocked away. Bloost is going to be called for the foul, and it looked like Bloost got a lot of leather, a lot of piece of ball. Actually, no. Bloost, they say, did get it clean. The foul is on Omani Switalski. Yep. Third team foul against the Snowbirds, first against Switalski, who's just now checked into the game.
Well, the Ironmen have done a fantastic job at getting to the free throw line. What they've got to really work on now is knocking them down, because you got every point against a team like the Snowbirds really is important, and you don't want to leave any of these extra points on the board. We saw it. The Snowbirds lost. You leave 18 points on the board, it's not really a recipe for success. As she will go 0 for 2. Second one rimming out, taking a Snowbirds bounce as Blues is going to line it up. Not going to be good. Rebounded there by Musel.
And Mancelona's been doing a good job of defensive rebounding, Jared, in my opinion. I came in and talked about earlier at the beginning of the game, would Mancelona be able to contend with Glasby on the inside? I said the matchup to really look for was Kraft and Glasby. And Mancelona, the other players have aided Kraft in that gang rebounding effort so far.
Yeah, and they've gone on both sides of the ball. They've been good at rebounding. A lot of their offensive rebounding have led to their trip to the free throw line.
There's almost a steal by Durr up top. You see, it's just hard with the passing lanes that this zone is creating, Jared.
Yeah, and Durr's got the length to be in those zones. She's got really long arms. You're used to seeing Glasby with those, but Durr can compete.
Jeffers lines it up from the corner, no good, and Switalski there competing on the offensive rebounds. It looks like it will stay here with the Snowbirds.
Yeah, and one thing I will say about the Snowbirds is sometimes they don't come out as hot as you would expect, especially against a team that, Ironmen are good, but the Snowbirds are 14-1 for a reason, and been a little bit slow starting there. As Glasby's finally going to get one of those offensive rebounds and just put it back up. One of the, it's going to be hard for her to miss those ones. She's 1,000-point scorer, as we mentioned, and we'll probably mention a few more times.
She's got 6 points in the game as Blues gets the takeaway. One more now to Cook. She's going to put it up, and this one off the heel. There's another offensive rebound, though, for the Snowbirds, Jared, and they've found that offensive rebounding game here on these most recent 2 possessions, and it's nearly stolen. Snowbirds with the numbers advantage, down low, but Musall has the takeaway. Miscommunication on the baseline by the Snowbirds. Musall with it, still stolen by Blues. Here's a 3-on-1. Cook back to Blues, goes off of her feet, kicks it out to the corner. Jeffers is going to let it fly, and it's too strong. Glasby getting the offensive rebound. Cook comes back out, and this game is at a frenetic pace so far, Jared, as this one's no good by Jeffers. Snowbird field goal percentage not where they would like it to be.
No, they just look a little off tonight, Charles. I can't lie. I'm not sure if they've fully gotten off the bus yet, and I can just tell by Pat Scholl's body language she's not too keen on the first about quarter of play that they've had so far. As he's actually talking to Jeffers right now, as she had that early 3 and airballed one and missed a layup. Super uncharacteristic. And also picked up her second foul.
Well, as we've got a 30-second timeout taken here on the floor, that's going to allow us to thank one of our sponsors tonight. We want to thank J&J Construction. J&J Construction helps you in the process of getting into your dream home, whether that's renovating an existing home or starting from square one. J&J Construction, most importantly, trusted by subcontractors, other general contractors, and their former clients. Learn how J&J Construction, you can begin the process of getting into your dream home with J&J Construction, a proud sponsor of Gaylord St. Mary basketball here on Next Level Broadcasting. This one's stolen. And now over to Skoronski. Actually, it wasn't stolen. The Snowbirds had possession. I misspoke there, but with 2 seconds, Blues is going to put it up, and this one goes around and almost drops through the net for Emory Blues. So after 1 quarter of play, Snowbirds have a 1-possession, 3-point lead after 8 minutes in the books. We're going to step aside. Second quarter action coming up after this.
Are you interested in building a new home or renovating an existing one? With over 100 years of combined experience, J&J Construction is one of the most reliable and respected general contractors in our service area. J&J is a trusted construction partner valued by architects, subcontractors, financiers, and most of all, their clients. J&J Construction has been completing quality homes and improvement projects that add value to the communities they serve. They bring a passion for innovation.
Xavier McKinney.
And welcome back. Second quarter officially underway here between the Snowbirds and the Ironmen. Charles Strail along with Jared Stamen as the Snowbirds have a 3-point advantage heading into this second quarter of play. Gaylord St. Mary only up by 3, Jared. They've had a lot of possessions that just didn't go smoothly. The offense has just been a little clunky so far, but the consistent piece has been Peyton Glasby able to do her thing. She's got 8 points in the game.
Yeah, and they've all just been easy layups. She's got the height matchup. Durer is the only one that might be able to compete, but she can't contest at the level she wants because she picked up those 2 early fouls.
Exactly. Mancelona hamstrung by those fouls as Blues comes from out of nowhere to get a blocked shot.
And Musel is shocked.
I know.
That she did not get a foul on that one.
Absolutely flabbergasted.
Yeah. And, well, honestly, I think she has a fair point. There did seem to be a lot of contact, but at the same time, Blues is a savvy player.
Griefor three-pointer is no good. Goes out of bounds with the Snowbirds, who now have a 5-point lead. 5 points, the largest lead of the game for the Gaylord St. Mary Snowbirds as well, Jared. So
yeah.
It's been a close game throughout the entirety of these first 9 minutes that we've played.
Yeah, as the first quarter started coming to an end, the defense for the Snowbirds really started picking up, playing like we expected them to.
Glasby, another offensive rebound, goes up, and this one's no good. Fight for this one is controlled by Durr.
Yeah, but the Snowbirds are not making any of these outlet passes easy. They didn't do that in the first couple minutes, starting to do it now, and I think that's why that lead's gotten up to 5.
3-ball, no good from the corner, and over the back foul called against the Ironmen. That one is on Starlin Cook. I don't think there's any relation between Starlin and Alira Cook, but
no, Cook tends to be one of the more common last names. But you never know up here. A lot of people, a lot of cousins play on rival teams and whatnot.
This one's stolen away. Ironman with an opportunity in the fast break as Belangia drew some contact.
Yeah, that one was on the floor, so the bucket wouldn't have counted anyway. She probably would have loved to see that one go in, just maybe a little confidence booster, but result will stay the same.
Inbounded to Belangia on the baseline going against Skaronski. Now passes this one off to Griefor. A nice floater around and out, and Glasby has the rebound for the Snowbirds. Blues pushing tempo off the backboard and no good. I believe tapped off of the hand of Musal. So the Snowbirds making a substitution here. In comes Lily Keister and Kaylee Jeffers. Hey, we want to give a shout out to one of our biggest fans, Nick Wenzel. Nick Wenzel, we know you're tuning in. Inbounded to Glasby right near the basket, and she cans her 10th point of the game.
Yeah, she just puts the ball over her head and shoots it, and there's not many girls on this Ironman team that can compete with that, and that's why she's got those 10 early, 10 of the 14.
Yep. Three-pointer, no good. And Glasby and Keister converge to secure the rebound. Blues kicks it out to Jeffers. Crosses over. Kicked. Jeffers putting it up. Around and out. Glasby right there for another offensive rebound. Up and in. 12 points for Peyton Glasby.
They've all been within the 2-foot mark of the rim. And
I tell you what, Jared, you would, if you're Peyton, you got to be so pleased with the proximity principle right now. Everything is right next to the rim. Baseline J is good for the Ironmen. And that's Starlin Cook knocking down the first field goal of this quarter for the Ironmen. Glasby taking the three-pointer, puts it up, and cans it. Woo! I think it's safe to say that she's on a heater, Jared.
Oh, yeah, she's feeling herself tonight. She's truly been the offense
15
for
in the game. 15 points for Peyton Glasby as the Snowbirds up by 10, 19-9.
Yeah, and I saw her in warm-ups, and she was hitting them from that range like it was nothing. And, well, she just did it in game as well. So unfazed by the moment. That's one thing about Glasby is she's one of the coolest players in all of varsity sports, boys and girls.
Keeps a level head.
Yeah, never really see her get too flustered by the moment, and that's why she's so great.
They're going to skip it to her once again. I think she's got to have a heat check here, Jared.
Yeah, I wanted her to spring that one over the shorter Musel, but
there's a steal by the Ironman defense. That's how they're going to have to get back into this game as Durer catches Mancelona with the 4-on-3, and Belangia puts it up. All right, check that. That was Griefor. This time it's Durer with the left-handed hook shot, and it's good.
Yeah, and their offense has started to get a couple rhythm in the last couple drives.
Jeffers drives in, wraps a shot attempt up, no good. And Griefor has the rebound, outletted, deflected by Bloost. Let's see what the call is. It'll be Ironman basketball.
Yeah, Blue's one of the shorter players on the court, but again, just savvy, knows where the ball is going to be, reads the passing lanes. She is the point guard for the Snowbirds, so she kind of knows what the other point guards are going to be thinking. Like a ex QB who's now DB.
Okay. The shot's up, blocked by Keister. Stolen by Jeffers. Over now to Keister, running the floor. Good job by Lily Keister, Jared. I mean, she got the block and then got the bucket on the other end.
Yeah, that was a perfect two-man game between Keister and Jeffers. Block into the Jeffers steal, and then the Jeffers assist to Keister. Beautiful basketball right there.
And it's fun to watch as well.
Yeah, I mean, I say it's almost every Snowbirds game. When it comes to just the way a team plays, the continuity, just the scheming, the varsity girls, Snowbirds, is the best out of every boys, girls, it doesn't matter. They are just elite, and it all stems from the coaching. And, you've got 4 seniors. They're all bought in. They all know each other. And, that's why they're 14-1, Charles. I mean, they really are going to make a run this year in the playoffs. A lot of people were saying semis is kind of like what they're supposed to do, but I see a championship. I really do. When this team is on, it takes a lot to break them.
One of the things that I don't think people can see watching on the stream is the conditioning level that every player for the Snowbirds that they put on the floor. I mean, they can all go, all out for 4 to 5 minutes, and then if they need a breather, Pat Schultz can just bring them out of the game, let them get some air. But the conditioning has certainly been something that the Snowbirds have worked on after they've lost to Frankfurt back-to-back in regional appearances the last 2 years. Pat Schultz has been working his team in the offseason to prepare them to be more physically ready to play physical basketball and not get worn down just from the old style that they play.
Right, and you've got to if you want to make a run because the Ski Valley's got some decent competition, but once you get into that tournament, you're going to only be facing the best in their own conference.
That was Emery Blust who scored that last layup. We've made a couple adjustments here to our stream to assist with the glitchiness that our YouTube chat has been assisting us out with. So let's do a little trial period here for the last couple of minutes of this second quarter to see if we got those kinks worked out. As this will be an offensive rebound, we'll now go to the possession arrow, and it will be Snowbird basketball. So, Jared, after the first quarter, it was 10-7.
Yeah.
The Snowbirds have outscored the Ironmen here 13-4. And it's really started to feel like a Gaylord St. Mary team, or you're watching the St. Mary team you're accustomed to seeing.
Right, and they have a tendency to start a little bit slower against competition that they might not deem as elite. And it's going to be something that they want to lock in as Glasby just nails another 3. She's about to have 20 in this first half, Charles.
She's got 18.
Yeah, I don't know what her career high is, but she's probably – I don't know. She seems like the type of player that wouldn't even think that way. But
I think it's 34, Jared.
Well, she's more than on pace for that tonight, Charles. She could have 40 in her eyes.
She's got 2 made three-pointers and then pretty much everything else coming right at the rim. Under 2 minutes to play for the Snowbirds and Ironmen. Snowbirds have outscored the Ironmen 16-4 in this quarter alone. Keister catches, can't make the layup. Rebound by Griefor. And you see this pressure. Snowbirds, that is, defend pretty much every square inch of the floor, making it just so hard to breathe.
Yeah, and that's why those free throws early on for Mancelona was early, because the defense was going to get settled in and they were going to start doing this. So you got to get as many points as you can before that defense gets their feet set and become the lockdown force that we're seeing now.
So we're getting some insight from the YouTube chat. So the 4 seniors on the Snowbird team, Peyton Glasby, Emery Blust, Lyra Cook, and Kaylee Jeffers, have played basketball together with each other since 4th grade.
Wow. I mean,
how about that?
That's awesome. And I mean, it really does show. I mean, they are one cohesive unit, and they're also so unselfish. I mean, Glasby has passed on a couple shots that she could take for better shots for her teammates. Just an unselfish basketball team, and that's why you're so successful. It's a unit. It's not one player or two players.
It's like they have their 5 bodies but one mind. You know, they all are on the same wavelength. As we got a jump ball, it'll stay here with the Ironmen.
Yeah, and the Ironmen need to do a better job of spacing the floor. Right now, they're just kind of all sitting inside of the arc, and it's making it pretty easy for the Snowbirds to dial in and just bunch up, play good defense. They got to swing the rock with more efficiency.
Here's a foul called against the Snowbirds. I think it's on Glasby. Looks like it is.
Yeah, and that will be her second. With 1:13 left, she's going to stay out here.
Peyton Durr also playing with 2 personal fouls as well, Jared, as you said earlier. And she got that second foul with around 3 minutes in the first quarter as a travel's called here against the Ironmen.
Yeah, she's done a good job playing clean basketball, and I think it's kind of almost hurt them a little bit because her aggressiveness was part of the reason why this game was close early on. And she's had to tone it back a little bit, and I think that you just feel the energy shifting because they can't play with that tenacity they want to.
Stolen away by Musall. Musall kicks it out over to Durr. Now back to Musall. Turnaround jump shot is off the mark, rebounded by Cook.
Yeah, and they're just forcing stuff right now because they know once that defense gets set, they're going to have a hard time breaking through. But Musall's done a great job on the defensive end, Charles. I think that's her 3rd steal in this first half.
Yeah, just being able to play those passing lanes and playing her position in this zone well. Snowbirds likely taking the last shot of this first half, as it seems like they will be doing. They do have Jeffers and Glasby on the bench, so look for Blust and Cook to initiate this offense here. Blust drives in, Euro step, puts it up, count it, and one. Emery Blust with a highlight reel play to end the second quarter. There's still 6 seconds to play, but doing an excellent job of getting to her spot, playing at her rhythm. Just a nice crossover through the zone defense, Euro step, and up and in off the window.
Yeah, when you're undersized like she is, footwork is key to be successful in the paint, and she's got that down.
Emery Blust with a 3-point play seconds before this second quarter ends, and we've got a turnover. It looked like Mancelona's player there was stepped in on the sideline as they caught the basketball.
Yeah, with .9, they're going to see if they can make some.
Blust puts it up, and just off the front of the rim. That one was inches away from being a buzzer beater from near half court. So after 2 quarters of play, Gaylord St. Mary 29, Mancelona 11. Snowbirds outscore the Lady Ironmen in that quarter 19-4. We'll step aside when we come back. We'll have the Professional Seamless Gutters halftime show here on Next Level Broadcasting. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me from my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Right back. Always gonna pull it. Got it. And has it left block. Slams it home.
The Glen Lake student section, they're pumped up.
An existing one. With over 100 years of combined experience, J&J Construction is one of the most reliable and respected general contractors in our service area. J&J is a trusted construction partner valued by architects, subcontractors, financiers, and most of all, their clients. J&J Construction has been completing quality homes and improvement projects that add value to the communities they serve. They bring a passion for innovation and a commitment to quality to every job they do. Call them today.
Vision Source and Gaylord Eye Care are proud to be offering their services to local communities across northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Boyne City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
All right, welcome in to the halftime show presented by Professional Seamless Gutters. Charles Strail along with Jared Stamen from Mancelona, Michigan, the Gaylord St. Mary's Snowbirds, and the Lady Ironmen doing battle. It was 10-7 at the end of the first quarter, and then the Gaylord St. Mary's Snowbirds woke up, Jared. It looked in that first quarter like they were just kind of sleepwalking through this game. And, well, sure enough, they scored 19 points in the second quarter and now have a 18-point lead at halftime.
Yeah, you know, Charles, I mentioned I've seen that before, and I remember when I saw that. Against Joburg girls, obviously that is a big rivalry, the Snowbirds and those Joburg Cardinals. But either way, they started that game really slow. I believe they only had 8 or 6 points in the first quarter, which is not very characteristic for them. They ended up dialing in, winning by double digits. I think it was 15+. And you're kind of seeing that again. Second quarter is when they really turn the switch, and you can tell if this game is going to be a close one or the Snowbirds are going to throw the knockout punch. Against Petoskey and Harper Springs, for two closest game of the season, it was close in the second quarter. That's when you know the Snowbirds might be in, well, quote-unquote trouble. But once if they get a second quarter and they get that up to 8, 10, right now we're sitting at, 18?
Yeah.
You kind of can be like, well, they're in their bag now. They're comfortable. Their defense is set. I think some of it is just reading they watch film and whatnot, and Pat Schultz does a good job of getting them prepared. But it's one thing to watch film and another thing to watch it live. And, as well, Coach Isaac Belangia for the Ironmen could say, hey, you know what, we're going to switch it up. We have to switch it up against a good team like this because they're diligent in the film room. They're going to be ready for us. And that could have been what happened. They had to make the second quarter adjustment, say, hey, we thought they're going to be running this. They're running this now. we're going to get into this defense. And you saw, because they didn't really run a lot of the double traps in the first quarter. Second quarter, they did that. So many turnovers, steals they got, and that leads to easy points.
It certainly did, and we do want to highlight the effort that senior Peyton Glasby has been putting out there so far on the floor. Through 2 quarters, she's got 18 points, a couple made 3-pointers, and really just dominating the offensive glass. I mean, pretty much everything that she's been trying to do, she's had success in doing it, and credit to her and credit to the Snowbirds for really getting their footing in that second quarter. Started to figure out the Mancelona 1-3-1 zone defense. And in that first quarter, that defense gave the Snowbirds some headaches.
Oh, it did. I mean, in the first half, Bree Musil for the Ironmen had 2 steals. She ended up with 3 in the first. And there's a lot of tip balls. I saw Deer had some. And they gave them a lot of trouble. Second quarter adjustments, they changed that. And they also just looked flustered. They didn't come out with that fire that you're used to seeing. You know, Jeffers had an air ball and a missed layup. Not something she does very often.
Yep.
Ended up after doing that, talking to Pat Schultz. You know, we don't have the sideline mics to hear what they're saying, but kind of like, hey, you're good. Take a breath. You're one of our better players for a reason. Get your head right. And she did. She made a great steal to pass to Keister late in that second, and they've just really turned it up. But the thing about Glasby that's been so impressed about those 18 points, Charles, is they've all been wide open looks.
Yeah.
She has not taken a single contested layup. They're all just, oh, I'm wide open, I'm going to shoot it.
Not forcing anything.
No. And that's one thing about Glasby. She never forces things. There's a couple of shots we said, oh, maybe she could take a heat check. Would have been a little bit forced, and I think, you know, that's a credit to Pat Schultz. I don't think they want to hear it from Coach.
Right.
Trying to take a forced shot.
So while we have an opportunity to do so as the Snowbirds come back out onto the floor, this is the Professional Seamless Gutters halftime show. Your home gutters, well, they're always there when you need them to be as long as you get a good set installed. And that's why our good friend Orion Beningo and St. Mary's Snowbird alumnus, he started Professional Seamless Gutters. Professional Seamless Gutters offers fast and experienced service with real-time quotes. But wait, there's more, and this is the big kicker. When you call them, they'll answer your phone call or just return it if they're out there doing a job. That's Orion Beningo at Professional Seamless Gutters. Don't let those ice dams begin to form this winter on your home or pole barn. Get Professional Seamless Gutters to protect your largest investment, your home. All right, so the Snowbirds and the Lady Ironmen getting ready for the second half of action to commence. Charles Strail along with Jared Stamen here from Mancelona, Michigan. And it'll be Snowbird basketball. Glasby to inbound.
Yeah, both teams are ready, cutting off an extra minute of the halftime.
Yeah, that was interesting. Maybe they didn't need to stretch. I mean, always me coming out of halftime, man, I had to stretch. I had to do my routine stretch, go make 2 free throws, maybe miss a couple of 3-pointers as this one's stolen away by the Ironmen. Pass intercepted by Blues, but she is called for a foul, I believe. And she is indeed. That's the second foul against, or first foul against Emery Blust. First team foul against the Snowbirds. We're going to briefly here look into this YouTube chat, Jared. We got a lot of people tuning in. We got Fred Burt, UP80. I'm going to say he's watching from the UP.
Ooh. I'm sure it's pretty chilly up there.
Got some people in Beverly Hill, Florida.
Well, doesn't that sound nice?
More people from Florida.
Well, Jeffers there just got the pickpocket on Belangia and tried to make the read, but good job there by number 24.
Jeffers, yeah. And Griefor.
Griefor. I wasn't going to try and pronounce that one wrong.
You want to try again now?
Griefor.
There you go.
I think we got it now.
There you go. Corner goes to Cook against the double team, and it's stolen away. Good hands by the Ironman defense, and that was Belangia who had the takeaway. And it goes back over to the Snowbirds.
One thing I'd like to see from the Ironmen in this second half is to play with that heart that they played with in the first 4 minutes. I know you're down, you didn't have the second quarter you wanted, but in the scheme of things, you could make this game a lot closer than you might think. You can maybe have that sneaky little side punch that the Snowbirds will not be expecting as they do turn the ball over again. Blues finding Glasby, and she's wide open, and she's going to stay pure from beyond the arc, Charles.
I mean,
21 points.
When you're feeling good, you're feeling good. And right now, Glasby's living good, playing good, all the above. She's got 21, 3 made threes. Blues puts it up, no good. But Glasby, guess what? Offensive rebound out to Jeffers. She drives in, and she's called for a double dribble.
Yeah, even though didn't go in the basket way, unselfish by Glasby. She could have tried to put that one up over 2, ended up finding her wide open teammate for what would have been a great look. Belanger is getting double teamed. This double ability to double team for the Snowbirds has just given the Ironmen absolute nightmares.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding.
As there's some discussion on what the call is, I think Mancelona is trying to say they called a timeout, I believe. And yeah, they're gonna grant them that timeout. And whatever second half adjustments that they made in the locker room, looks like the Snowbirds have the counter.
Yeah, exactly. Well, while we've got a 30 or minute-long timeout, we're going to keep it right here and tell you about Mama Leone's. Established in 1953, Mama Leone's has been serving up world-class Italian cuisine and pizza, a family-owned restaurant, and the official post-game gathering place for the Gaylord St. Mary's Snowbirds, whether that's football season, basketball season. You can stop in there on the weekends after a big Friday night game as well. But Mama Leone's, if you didn't know, Jared, they're located on 2583 South Otsego Avenue. But the biggest thing that Mama Leone's can do for you, for everybody tuning in, they can cook and cater your graduation party for your senior or your Super Bowl party or any other special event that you've got planned. Like, why worry about the taste of the food? If you just have Mama Leone's do it, you don't have to worry about that. The guests are going to show up, probably being a couple extra people. So get Mama Leone's to cater your special event, whether it's the Super Bowl, which is this weekend, or that high school graduation party. So, hey, Mama Leone's giving you a lot of options throughout this holiday season into high school graduation season as well. That's Mama Leone's in Gaylord, proud sponsor here of Snowbird basketball all season long, as Grieford drives baseline, and we've got a traveling violation called against her.
Yeah, she got to pack her bags. There's been a few travels on both teams so far. Wonder if they're going to be hitting up TVC anytime soon.
Are you?
Well, Charles, I actually will be hitting that, and I'll be going to a lot warmer place. All these talks of these folks in Florida, well, I'll be joining them here soon. I hope the weather holds up, because Lord knows I need some sun. And Glasby's in that corner again, and she's going to stay pure, 4 for 4.
Man.
I don't think she's missed a shot all night, Charles.
I mean, it's incredible, her shot making right now. 24 points for Peyton Glasby, Jared.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it's on 100% shooting. You can't draw it up any better.
Jeffers letting it fly and buries it for the Snowbirds.
Yeah,
they're really coming on strong right now in this third quarter, Jared, and it looks like this might be an avalanche that the Ironmen may not be able to crawl out of.
Yeah, and that's what you'd exactly like to avoid coming out of halftime for the Lady Ironmen. But it's a lot easier said than done against a 14-1 team that, as we mentioned, is expected to make a deep run into the playoffs. See Belanger give it back to Durr. Should be working on Glasby. That double team all game has just been absolutely nightmare fuel for the Ironmen. But it gives them something to know moving on. Coach Isaac Belanger will take these girls into practice, maybe make them run a few more laps or something. But he'll also say, hey, one thing we got to work on is finding your guys out of a double team your double team, Charles, that means someone's open.
Right, exactly. As this one goes up and in. Nice play there by Peyton Durr. And the Ironmen get on the board here in this third quarter. 3-ball is up and short.
Yeah, and Keister looked like she was trying to volleyball, get that one back in bounds. Love the effort. And they're going to instantly double, but hey, good job getting out of the double quickly. The adjustments are starting to be made as you're going to see a nice basketball play there by Cooks. Good job getting out of the double team, finding her open teammate, easy lay. If they can start breaking this press, they're going to start feeling good as Glasby misses her first shot beyond the arc, and I think her first shot of the game. But that was a heat check, Charles. That was a deep three.
I mean, why not? I mean, Glasby has pretty much, well, if you look at the score right now, if you had 24 points to Mancelona, they'd have 39. So you could make the case that Glasby has been the difference in the game, Jared.
Yeah, I would say, that might be the understatement of the day, Charles. I mean, a lot of this does stem as well from the defense. Holding a team to only 15 points through almost 3 quarters is impressive on its own. And that does take a team. That's not just one player. But the offensive side of the ball has been owned by number 3, Glasby.
Snowbird defense trying to track down the rebound. Griefor on a second chance. Put back, no good. And we've got a whistle and a foul.
And they're going to say
Peyton Durr, that's her third.
Well, she's been pretty good at not getting fouled after those first 2 early ones in the first. She's been quiet on the foul end. As that's knocked out of bounds by Griefor. And Pat Schultz is going to take a timeout.
Yeah, just trying to set some things up here and allow them to just kind of calm down right now and see if they can just kind of play their game like they've been playing so far. Mancelona has gotten a couple good looks consecutively, Jared.
Yeah, their offense definitely, they've started to break this double team trap in the half court a couple times, and it's something that I'm sure Pat Schultz is like, hey, I don't care how many points we're up. I want to see the basketball at the level that we can play it. The score should not dictate the effort. And that's really how you have a winning basketball team. You never can let off the gas. I mean, it's one thing to maybe put starters in with 2 minutes left up 40, but it's another thing. Third quarter, this is when you want to bury the coffin, Charles.
Exactly, as this one's stolen away, though. And this is Belangia putting it all the way coast to coast as Taylor Belangia give her 5 points for Taylor Belangi as Griefor has the rebound.
And that was a good job using the glass to her advantage, something that not a lot of players try to do. There's that kind of stigma that you don't want to use the glass, but Charles, the glass is there to help you. It's your friend at the end of the day. You don't got to call bank in an actual game. This isn't horse.
That's right. This is varsity basketball, not horse. Do you make somebody call bank in a horse, though?
Charles, I can't even tell you the last time I played horse.
Okay. 3-pointer up, too strong by Jeffers. Glasby on the offensive glass once again. Jab step. Jeffers gets to her spot and short on the layup.
Yeah, and Mancelona's been doing a great job later in this third, beating the half-court press. She actually does drop Sotalski.
Oh, man. Belangi goes up and in, no good. Rebounded by Glasby. Back to Glasby in the corner. She's going to set and fire and knocks down another 3-pointer. That's her 5th. She's got 27.
Yeah, and the efficiency is just unreal. And she's got one of the nicest shots. You know, sometimes some of the girls have a harder time shooting the basketball, but for her, it looks effortless.
Oh, man, it certainly is coming easy tonight for Glasby. 5 made triples as Keister rips away the basketball. I don't know if Starlin Cook signed up for that.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a football play there,
Yeah.
Charles. Will stay Mancelona ball, or will become Mancelona ball. And they're going to call it on Jeffers. A little bit too much contact on that one. As her first one is nothing but net. Good shot by Durr.
Peyton Durr now with 5 points in the game.
She started off hot with that three.
Yeah. Second shot is good.
Yeah, I don't know, that one, the net didn't even move. That looked like a Curry shot there.
Yeah, it kind of did, didn't it? As this one's no good, but a foul is called. The Snowbirds are over the limit. That's only the second team foul against the Lady Ironmen. That's on Lucy Griefor. Only her first foul, but the second against Mancelona, sending Kaylee Jeffers to the free throw line.
Yeah, the Snowbirds definitely are usually the more aggressive team. Doesn't even matter. They're usually going to lead between the two teams in fouls, but they do a good job typically at hanging around that 3 to 4 mark, not getting too much bonus.
Second shot for Jeffers is good. 43 to 19. Jeffers with 8 points in the game as Belangi is caught in the backcourt.
Yeah, and after they did such a good job for those 5 minutes getting out of the double team, that time just too good of coverage there. Credit to the Snowbirds. Skaronski's going to let it fly. It's going to be off the glass, off the rim. But another offensive rebound. Glasby in the post, and, well, another layup for her. Perfect in the paint tonight.
29 for Peyton Glasby, Jared.
Well, if you are right, and 34 is her high, unless Pat Schultz pulls her in this fourth, she is very much so on the cusp.
Going down low was Jayla Kraft, unable to get it to drop as Durr snares the rebound, pushing it up with some tempo. Stolen by Cook from behind.
Yeah, that was just great. The trailer there, Cook. Durr not expecting it. As it looks like they're going to do what they did in the first quarter, or end of the first half, actually, and just hold for the last shot.
4 seconds now. Kick out. Glasby going to let it fly just off the mark. Man, that one would have blown the roof off this place, Jared. So the Snowbirds take a 45-19 lead into the fourth quarter of play. You're watching high school basketball on Next Level Broadcasting. We'll step aside and be back after this.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Eye Care are proud services to local communities across Northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Boyne City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
Right back. Always going to pull it. Got it. And has it. Left block. Slams it home.
The Glen Lake student section, they're pumped up. Okay, here we go. Welcome in to the fourth quarter of play here. We'll get everything switched around as we enter this final quarter between the Snowbirds and the Ironmen. Charles Trail along with Jared Stamen here. That shot no good by Keely Jeffers. Rebounded underneath by Bridget Mochama, excuse me. Down low to Mochama. Once again, we realize that we've got some glitchiness here tonight. We're going to apologize. Fluctuations in the Wi-Fi network here. That is the reasoning for that. We hope that the audio is still coming through with some good consistency, and it's not like listening to a record scratching or a CD skipping for those of you out there who have ever experienced that. So we realize that some of our viewing audience may never have used a CD player, Jared. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I think I was kind of just on the cusp when they were coming out.
Yeah, well, you got to think anybody in high school right now has never had to pop a CD in.
No, or the CDs in the car, DVDs, watching movies.
Oh, DVDs. Yeah, absolutely, as Jeffers gets the rebound and puts it back up and in. But, yeah, DVDs, what's that? Why can't we just stream it?
Crazy.
I mean, if people just like streaming things, that's obviously beneficial to us. It's kind of what we do. If you can dream it, we can stream it. That's the next level broadcasting motto. As Taylor Belangi knocks down that little turnaround jump shot. But like I said, DVDs, cassette tapes, anybody?
Yeah, that's definitely before me, I can tell you that.
I had in my car, Jared, I had a cassette tape player that I would plug into my iPhone.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I had a buddy who had the same thing.
Only one? Probably.
Yeah,
Probably not more than one.
No, it was only one. He driving an old, I think it was a 2002 Toyota Corolla.
Taylor Belangi knocks down another one near the rim.
Yeah, a little
She's got
401.
9 points. But, yeah, anybody who's out there tuning in from listener land knows, hey, we got more people tuning in on the chat line, though, Jared. We're going to give some more shout-outs here. We got Tom and Rochelle Cooch watching from Inglewood, Florida. What's the temperature down in Inglewood, Florida right now? I'm curious.
Well, it can't be worse than it is up here.
You mean lower? I mean, I know that there's some cold stretches going around the U.S., but darn it, it was right around 32 degrees up here, Jared, and we almost had like some freezing sleet mix coming here tonight to the game as this one's stolen away. 3-on-1 for the Snowbirds. Blues drops a pass to Cook. Can't finish. Glasby, turnaround is in. You knew as soon as she got that offensive rebound she was making it.
Yeah, I mean, she's been perfect in the paint, and it's, again, there's a bit of a size mismatch for her. She can just put that up there. She's too skilled to miss those.
She does have 31 now, so she's broken the 30-point barrier.
And she's still playing with these 5 minutes left. So if you are right and 34 is that career high, it is right on the cusp.
It's pretty impressive when you're talking about what that career high is, and it's like, wow, as Griefor knocks down the triple.
Well, the Mancelona offense in this fourth quarter has kind of come alive.
Blues gets all the way to the paint. Yeah, and, you know, it has been, but a lot of it's still just been overshadowed by Glasby. She's flying high so far with 31 points. And since we're talking about flying high, we're going to tell you about Sky Media 45. Hey, if you're into mapping or inspections, marketing, Sky Media 45 can help you out. Or even if you want to mark your property boundary from an aerial viewpoint, Sky Media 45 can be your eye in the sky. Precision drone technology for stunning visuals and critical data. Your project, their perspective. Let's fly. Visit skymedia45.com to learn how they can help better assist you. 49-26 is the score.
Yeah, and Alyra Cook just took a nice hit, and I think she's got a bloody nose. She's going to take a seat on the bench, but she seemed pretty unfazed by it.
Emery Bloost, Peyton Glasby, Nona Skoronsky, Lily Keister, and Kaylee Jeffers, the 5 right now on the floor for the Snowbirds on this offensive possession. Going to kick this one back out up top to Jeffers. We got a hell ball. Mancelona Ironmen get the takeaway via the possession arrow.
Yeah, and I like the fight by these Ironmen. And, they're defending their home court, whether this game is seeming a little bit out of reach with 4 minutes left. Still got to play with the effort, and that's a credit to their coach keeping these girls motivated.
Just got a text from the chat line. It says, feels like 38 degrees right now in St. Pete Beach. So
wow.
Ruh-roh, Jared, you're going to Florida in 10 days.
I know. Hopefully, I hope that changes. But even then, 38 and sunny sure beats 25 and cloudy.
As Jeffers is fouled and will go to the free throw line. Foul on Motama. Team second foul. And that free throw is good for Jeffers. We've got a timeout taken here by the Gaylord St. Mary's Snowbirds. And as they take the timeout, we're going to take the time to tell you about Schultz's Marathon Gas Station and Party Store. Hey, off of exit 301 on I-75 is Schultz Marathon Party Store. And it's the marquee destination for all Snowbird travelers heading north for Snowbird road trips this winter and spring. Like, hey, not a couple weeks ago when we went to Inland Lakes, Schultz's Marathon Gas Station Party Store offer a wide selection of snacks, refreshments, delicious pizza, and quality service. A proud sponsor of Snowbird basketball here on Next Level Broadcasting. That's Schultz's Marathon Gas Station and Party Store. Well, Kaylee Jeffers makes them both, Jared? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I know a guy who stands by that pizza there at Schultz Party Store.
Yes, yes, indeed. We do know a guy who, 60% of his diet could be Schultz's Marathon Gas Station and Party Store pizza, and that's Nick Wenzel. Nick, shout out to you. He might be the #1 consumer. We won't tell you what else Nick eats because they're not a sponsor, but he actually does go to Mama Leone's as well. Nick, I know you're tuning in from somewhere. We've got 3 minutes and just over 3 minutes left to play in this final quarter of play. Snowbirds up 51-26. Peyton Glasby, the leading scorer in the game. She's got 31. Griefor up top, trying to wrap a pass around on the far side to Durr. She'll come here, puts it up, and knocking it down is Bree Musall. Musall with 6 points now in the game.
Yeah, and Mancelona started pretty strong and now is finishing strong. Hopefully they can take this into this next game, and one of the better teams in the Ski Valley.
Jeffers from the corner, it's good.
But even the good teams in the Ski Valley, when they have to go against the Snowbirds, well, they might not look as good as you might think.
Gaylord St. Mary's Snowbirds, their one loss this year came to Petoskey. That was a 4-point loss. As Bloost kicks it out, Glasby wide open, going to let it fly off the heel. Jeffers has the offensive rebound. Bloost looked at it, turns it down, back to Jeffers, and now the Snowbirds really just working some clock here, trying to get things down low and get a close shot to the basket. Newly into the game for the Snowbirds, that is Peyton Greenier, number 21. Also into the game is Meredith McCarowitz. Sahara Wells has checked in, as has Omani Switalski. So the Snowbirds getting some JV players an opportunity to see some floor in the varsity game. And it's stolen away by Mochama. And
yeah, it looks like Gillespie will sit
with 31.
31, not going to get that record tonight. They could have force-fed the ball, but that's not what Snowbirds basketball is about.
And it's also, you don't really need to do it in a game like this. Showing good sportsmanship and not running up the score. She didn't get any of the points like cherry picking or just sitting down on the other side of the floor. That three-pointer right there and drops in for Lucy Griefor.
Yeah, her second in this.
Her second half has been good.
Yeah, this fourth quarter has really been the slight switch. If they could have played like this for 4 quarters, this would have been a much different game.
This one tracked down by McCarowitz. And we got a traveling called. Tomorrow night on Next Level Broadcasting, we'll have a doubleheader. Jared, you'll be in Elk Rapids for Elk Rapids and Grayling with Eric Huffman as Sir Eric comes back out for a Friday night presentation of high school basketball. And I will be with Noah Backus for the Gaylord St. Mary East Jordan game. So a doubleheader of boys basketball tomorrow night, Friday in Northern Michigan, January 6th. And then coming up next week, we'll be starting the week off strong with games on February 9th. We'll have some really good basketball games. We'll get to that here in a moment. Free throw is good. Nice shot by Belangi. 10 points now for her. So, Jared, Monday night, February 9th, doubleheader, East Jordan versus Charlevoix. 2 long-time conference rivals that are no longer conference rivals squaring off. That'll be a fun game. You'll be there. I know you've seen a lot of those 2 teams play this year. You excited for that one coming up on Monday night?
Oh, yeah. The atmosphere will be great for sure. I had the pleasure of doing the other Lake Charlevoix matchup, East Jordan and Boyne City, and down in East Jordan. And I'll tell you, Charles, best environment other than a tournament that I've been at so far.
Well, you get a second crack at it here coming up on Monday, but don't want to wish time away because you still got a fun game tomorrow night as well between the Grayling Vikings, and they're playing some pretty good ball right now, as are the Elks, and so are the Ladies Snowbirds. They're up by 20 as Durr makes that one, but this game, I think many would say not as close as what the score is indicative of. It likely go in the books as an 18-point win for the Snowbirds, but I think if they wanted to score 70, they likely could have here tonight.
Yeah, Charles, I think that's a fair analysis. Definitely let off the gas a little bit near the end. And Mancelona took advantage. They weren't going to sit and let that happen, take off the gas too. They wanted to get into their sets, see the ball go through the hoop a couple times, and they did that, trying to build into their next matchup.
So the Snowbirds win it here 54-36, led by 31 points from Peyton Glasby. For all of our sponsors tonight, we want to say one more heartfelt thank you for making this possible for us to be here. So everyone tuning in necessarily didn't need to be here. We want to thank J&J Construction, the Gaylord Eye Care Center, Schultz's Marathon Gas Station Party Store, Mama Leone's Sky Media 45, Professional Seamless Gutters, and the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, TVC, for making this game possible. This is going to conclude our presentation here tonight from Mancelona. Snowbirds take it one more time. Charles Strail along with Jared Stamen and our Next Level Broadcasting production team. We'll see everybody tomorrow night, Friday, February 6th on nextlevelbroadcasting.net. We'll see you there.